Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to now 500,000 subscribers. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share with your friends because, my friends, there's going to be a lot to talk about over the course of the next 4 years. And here on this program, it's nothing but the truth. So yesterday, we actually almost had a trade war with Colombia thanks to Trump. I mean, let me be very clear about something. The trade between the United States and Colombia amounts to $53.5 billion a year. It's not staggering. So it's not going to knock the country, either country for that matter. Well, let me not talk about Colombia. Let me talk about the United States. It's not going to knock the United States off of our GDP. That I can tell you. But there are products that we use. I mean, obviously, Colombia is coffee, oil, and cut flowers. All right. Now, in the morning, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, he blocked U.S. military planes from landing as they were carrying deportees. That's what this whole thing was about. Trump wanted to turn around to send a bunch of deportees to Colombia, and they said no. Trump then ordered incredibly steep tariffs on Colombian imports. Again, the oil, the cut flowers, and the coffee, and other bans. And you know what? I want to break it down for you because it's extremely, extremely important, because while Colombia may be small, there's more to come. So here's what it says. Trump imposes 25% tariffs on Colombia as deported migrants' flights are blocked. Okay, this is what it says. President Donald Trump has said that he will impose 25% tariffs and sanctions on Colombia after its president barred 2 U.S. military planes carrying deported migrants from landing in the country. Trump said the tariffs on all goods coming into the U.S. from Colombia would be put in place immediately, and in 1 week, the 25% tariffs would be raised to 50%. Colombian President Gustavo Petro responded by saying he would impose retaliatory tariffs of 25% on the United States in retaliation. Petro earlier on Sunday said that he had denied entry to U.S. military deportation flights. He said that he would receive our fellow citizens on civilian planes without treating them like criminals, and migrants must be returned with dignity and respect. Now, here's what Trump then goes ahead and posts on his Truth Social. He says, I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president, Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States. So I have directed my administration to immediately take the following urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. First, emergency 25% tariffs on all goods coming into the United States. In 1 week, the 25% tariffs will be raised to 50%. A travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. Third, visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Then he goes on to say enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds. I mean, these are really tough sanctions, by the way. And then IEEPA Treasury, banking, and financial sanctions to be fully imposed. These measures are just the beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligations with regard to the acceptance and return of the criminals they forced into the United States. Now, I got to be honest with you, where these are extremely tough sanctions to put on a country the size of Colombia. And he makes a lot of assertions here that are not necessarily accurate. One, We don't know these people to be criminals too. We also don't know that Colombia sent these criminals here to the United States to get rid of them, as Donald Trump is just so frequently talking about that, they emptied their prisons and their mental institutions and sent them here to the United States. Well, President Petro saying that he wants to impose his own tariffs on the United States. Here's what he puts up. Petro responded on X. So now we're doing everything. There's no more phone calls, no more communication between secretaries of states and so on. Now it's all done by social media. So Petro responds on X by announcing his own tariffs and celebrating Colombia's heritage and resilience. Your blockade does not scare me because Colombia, besides being the country of beauty, is the heart of the world. He also offered his presidential plane to facilitate the decent return of deportees from the U.S. who have been sent to arrive in the country. Now, let me go on to say that it sounds like both sides tough-talking one another, but the United States clearly has the upper hand, and Trump knows it. So, a deal was reached. President Petro then posted this. He posts, and I'm going to read, of course, not the Spanish one, but the English one. President Petro Gustavo provides a presidential plane for the dignified return of his fellow citizens and will lead efforts at the Extraordinary Assembly of CELAC. So they cut a deal, which is exactly what Trump wanted all along. Send them back. So why the big fight? I don't know. Who benefited? I think Trump benefited in this one. Why? Because he's showing the world he doesn't give a shit. That the way that the United States has handled immigration with countries over the course of the last, let's say, 50 plus years, those rules, that playbook, it's out the door. Trump just doesn't give a shit. No problem. 25% tariffs isn't hitting you in the pocket hard enough. Fuck you. Here's 50. Really? You're not doing what I'm saying? Fuck you again. Here's 100. This is what's going to be going on. Now, Trump then puts out his own statement regarding this. And here's what he says. The government of Colombia has agreed to all of President Trump's terms, including the unrestricted acceptance of all illegal aliens from Colombia returned from the United States, including on U.S. military aircraft without limitation or delay. Based on this agreement, the fully drafted IEEPA tariffs and sanctions will be held in reserve and not signed unless Colombia fails to honor this agreement. The visa sanctions issued by the State Department and enhanced inspections from Customs and Border Protection will remain in effect until the first plane load of Colombian deportees is successfully returned. Today's events make clear to the world that America is respected again. President Trump will continue to fiercely protect our nation's sovereignty, and he expects all other nations of the world to fully cooperate in accepting the deportation of their citizens illegally present in the United States. This is really something serious. I'm telling you. When I said before that Trump was definitely successful in this move, he's only successful in the fact that he has now once again demonstrated he is prepared to use the full might and power of the United States. Doesn't have to be militarily, it could be economically. And he's willing to turn around and to throw it even at a country as small as Colombia. Now, Tom Homan, who's Trump's border czar, was on ABC last night. And while it seems that the interview was recorded before Sunday's Colombian tension, it's extremely relevant. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Homan spoke about the military flights. Play the clip.
I want to go back to those military flights going south. As you said, we have never seen that before. Is that going to be a constant commitment from the U.S. military every single day to take deportees out?
Yes.
So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes, but you're going to see the number steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats. That's a smaller population. So we're going to do this on priority base, as President Trump's promised, but as that aperture opens, there'll be more arrests nationwide.
When you talk about the aperture opening, the estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.
Yeah. Making it crystal clear. He also spoke about what success will look like for him. Play the clip.
Those flights again. With the host countries, you flew all of those people back. Were all of the people arrested on the first day, for instance, repatriated? And what about those countries that won't take them back?
Oh, they'll take them back.
What do you mean by that?
We got President Trump coming to power. President Trump puts America first. Mexico didn't want to remain in Mexico program. Under the first administration, they did it. They didn't want to put military in the southern border. They did it.
How do you convince them?
El Salvador didn't want to take MS-13 members back. It took President Trump 48 hours to make that happen. President Trump's going to put America first. And if it doesn't, then we'll place my third safe country.
All appointments to the CBP app have been canceled. That is a legal way to claim asylum and get in the country. So what should people do who are seeking asylum? How do you do it?
Go to the embassy, go to port of entry. Do it the legal way. You shouldn't come to this country and ask to get asylum, and the first thing you do is break our laws by entering illegally.
So tell me what the definition of success is over the next 6 months, over the next year, by the end of the administration. What is mission accomplished here?
Taking as many public safety threats off the street as possible. Watching illegal alien crime in the United States decrease. Ending it. Deporting every illegal alien gang member in this country, including Trendawa and MS-13. Making our country safe. When we see the crime rate from illegal aliens go down, that's a success. Every public safety threat we remove from this country is a success. Every national security threat that we find removed from the country is a success. There's no number on it. So my success can be based on what Congress gives us. More money, the better we're going to do.
I noticed you didn't put in that list of things that will be mission accomplished and success, getting every immigrant who is in the country illegally out. Why not?
Because I'm being realistic. We can do what we can with the money we have. We're going to try to be efficient, but with more money we have, the more we can accomplish. If I don't have the money to remove that millions of people, then I'm not going to sit here and one thing, no one can say I haven't been frank in everything I've said. Our success every day is taking a public safety threat off the streets or getting a national security threat out of here.
Yeah. Like I said many, many episodes ago, there's going to be so much chaos over the course of the next year, at least a year. Nobody knows how bad this is going to hit the economy. Economists say it will. I guess we'll see. And if in fact that it does, mark my words, you're going to see a very different result in the 2026 midterm elections. That I can tell you. However, if actually what they're planning on doing does not hit the economy, and they continue the rhetoric that we're only throwing out criminals and drug dealers and gang members and other nefarious people and sending them back to their home country, I don't know. Seems like a good move, right? And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.